Okay, great. We are live. Hello and welcome to Talk Chef. I am one of your hosts, Reika.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
And today we have a very special guest, Samantha Dockser.
Hi.
Hi, Samantha. Thank you so much for doing this show.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're so excited. You might know Samantha from her TikTok account where she does a lot of like very funny, very on point lip syncs. I feel like you're kind of one of the first people on the TikTok lip sync train.
I definitely hopped on it during early pandemic days, and then my Gen Z cousin told me it was good and cool, so I kept doing it.
Hell yeah.
I love that. We all need them to tell us what's good and cool.
Certainly, yes. Well, we're so excited to have you. And literally right before we started rolling, you had mentioned that like when you think of Top Chef Chicago is the season you think of.
Yeah, I watched, whatever year this was on, I watched it with my dad and my brother.
Yeah.
And yeah, literally when I think of Top Chef, these are the people's faces who come to mind. So I'm super excited to chat about the episode.
Yeah, we love that. As we were kind of saying last week, this is like the first season where I feel like you start to see people that appear time and time again in future seasons, like Richard Blais.
Icon.
We have some true Top Chef icons that you will see being born within this season. So let's kind of roll into our little orders of business.
Sure.
Number one, you guys know this is a food charity-based live stream. We said that things are a little different this season. Instead of getting money every single episode for our charity, we're going to see what it's like to kind of just do one big fundraise-a-thon in the last episode of this season. So in case you're like, what charity y'all doing? It hasn't been announced yet. So.
Right. But what I also will say is, you know, Rick and I are trying out a bunch of different stuff. We've done like most seasons kind of differently in terms of the charities and seeing what works best and what's the most productive. But if you have charities that you love, send them to us.
Truly, yes, please. We are always
PM. We'll do any food-based charity. We've done so many great ones.
Yeah, for sure. We love to get a rack for that kind of stuff. Okay, Elaine, I'm loving what you're saying. Second order of business is actually something we didn't tell you, Samantha, which is just like every episode of Top Chef has a quick fire. So does every episode of Top Chef. And it's not cooking based. No need to get out, a pan. Okay. It is all Samantha personal preference question based. So we're going to give you 45 seconds. It's the fastest quick fire in Top Chef history to answer 10 questions. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds kind of like bullshit. Well, actually, there's real prizes. It's actually not. There's real prizes at stake. First prize being you could win a deed to the Turlato wine vineyard. Now,
have you ever heard of that vineyard?
I watched an episode of your show and saw what's her name, Lauren Lapkus, win the deed. So I would love to share.
Okay. Wow.
I would love to win it and share with her.
It's so
someone else, other people are sharing with her too, but
yes.
It's a huge deed. I'll say that.
It's a really big vineyard. Really big.
Amazing.
Deed. The deed is almost an acre just itself.
I would love to have it.
Paperwork is an acre itself.
Exactly. The literal paperwork. So that's one prize. Your other prize will be your own suite of broken GE appliances, just like you see on the show. So we're talking about like an oven that drops temperature, a fryer that never gets up to temperature. We're talking, I don't know, the other broken things you see on the show. A pressure cooker that doesn't open, a blender
that has no lid, juice everywhere.
We're going to send you no pans, just like on an episode of Top Chef where all the pans are in the sink and you have to wash your pan before doing the challenge while still being timed. Exactly. So all of that stuff could be yours.
I really would like to win it.
Okay, good. So are you ready for your 45-second quick fire?
I think so.
Okay,
Samantha,
let's see.
I just want to make sure you can hear me all right.
I can hear you great.
Okay. Perfect. Now, can you see this timer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
No, now it's gone right
now.
Now
it's gone.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry, I have to look up. Okay, okay, great.
Yeah, okay. I can see it now.
Okay, great. So I'm going to start the timer from the moment Jordan finishes asking question 1. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
If someone showed up at your house and said they needed ingredients for a cooking show, what would you do?
Oh, give them ingredients.
What are your favorite taco fillings?
Salsa, lettuce, chicken, beef?
Should a white man be considered an authority on tacos?
No.
Corn or flour?
Corn.
Who has the best taco in the world?
Somewhere in LA.
Favorite food TikToker?
Eat it, Katie.
Do you know any of your neighbors?
Yes.
What dish has to be served at a block party?
There need to be cookies.
What is the worst food once it gets cold?
Pasta? No.
How great are Jordan and Reka?
Amazing. The greatest.
Wow.
I stopped it a little late. I think it was at 44 seconds. Incredible.
It was. You did it. You came in just by the skin of your teeth. You did it. Incredible job.
Terrible answers, but thank you.
No, good answers.
Good
You didn't just bullshit your answers. We love that.
You were thoughtful, but quick. You had a good pace.
Absolutely. I want to just give a quick shout out firstly to Samantha for being one of our very few winners to this deed. I also want to shout out some excellent comments happening in the chat right now. One, we got a note from Elaine that's saying that I understand some traits in Andrew this week that were like, attractive to maybe a young Reka. I would never be interested in Andrew now. He's too off the walls, but okay, Elaine, I do appreciate that.
Samantha, something to know is that when Reka watched this season, Reka did in fact have a crush on Andrew, which is horrifying to think about now.
It's actually really bad. And then I also want to shout out something Christine said that we'll get to later. When Eric said Mexican food couldn't be fine dining, I was like,
oh,
shut the fuck up.
Very, very irritated.
Very
by his commentary.
Deeply irritating. So let's get into this.
Yeah. I think the important thing to mention is we start the episode, before we get into any cooking, we have Spike doing a Borat impression while pretending to hit your boy Andrew. And I think it really sums up kind of the time that this season came out, because, Borat obviously is near and dear to all of our hearts that were alive when it came to be. And also I think that you just would never see this type of boyish behavior on a season of Top Chef. Now, every Top Chef contestant, I have 3 kids and a business.
Now they're doing Borat 2, the good film movie impressions, or whatever the hell the sequel's called. Not Borat 1.
The new Borat movie that won an Oscar.
That's the one they're doing the impressions of now.
Yeah.
In Top Chef Portland, you'll see a lot of impressions of that one.
Yeah, they're all pretending to be Borat's daughter.
Yeah.
I love all of the not behind the scenes, but all the glimpses into their house that we get in these early seasons. And
exactly, bunk beds in a mansion or something. It's so sad.
It does feel like a very specific type of torture. You know what I mean? It's you get this I know that, the juxtaposition of bunk beds in a mansion is here's a nice thing, but not too nice.
Yeah, but that we could afford to have made this better, but we're choosing to make it worse so you'll make better TV, basically.
I'm curious, are we top bunk or bottom bunk?
How tall is the ceiling? Sorry, go ahead, Samantha.
I'm bottom bunk. I once was on a top bunk and my retainer fell out in the middle of the night onto the ground. I don't know if that's ruined top bunks for me, if that was it, but I'm gonna say bottom bunk.
Okay, wait. I have a bunk.
Yeah, it feels like an inconvenience to say the least.
I like a top bunk, but I'm not even tall, and I feel like any room that has a bunk bed in it is built for a kid. So the ceiling is just inexplicably low, and I am not a tall person. So I am going to revise to say bottom bunk, but I will say my friend from Chicago, I will have really unsatisfying
Dale Calday.
Yeah, Dale Calday. No, I have a friend from Chicago who went to a summer camp, and who is now a rapper that of note that I guess
Is it Kanye West?
It's not Kanye West.
A Chicago rapper of note, Rick? Are you talking about Kanye West?
No, but my friend threw up on him. My friend was on the top bunk and threw up, and it went onto this famous rapper.
Wow. And you can't tell us who the rapper is?
It feels wrong.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
but Rick, if the ceilings are tall, you want top bunk?
I might just, I don't do a lot of risky things, Jordan. So I might.
It's funny that you're telling me that, like, I think otherwise.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this. I don't really take risks. So maybe that'll be my risk for the night.
For the night.
Okay. Let's roll right into this quick fire. Make high-end tacos. Says, what's his name again? Rick Bayless?
Rick Bayless.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Rick Bayless is this guy you'll see on Top Chef a lot. I confuse him with Rick Mooney.
Rick.
They're both like, I make taco.
No, Rick is. I thought Rick Moonen did seafood.
Rick Moonen, he does seafood, but I thought he also did I think they look the same to me.
They look almost exactly.
They look identical. Okay, but this is Rick Bayless. Okay, great. So Rick Bayless likes to make tacos. He comes on the show a few times. Make high-end tacos. What do we think of this quickfire challenge? Before I roll through the dishes that people need.
Yeah, I mean, as we sort of already said, Eric's commentary was irritating, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's like immediately shutting down whatever the challenge was and like diminishing a whole type of food.
Yeah. Well, it's also crazy. There's fine dining in every.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I also, I don't want to defend Eric because I don't know him and maybe he's awful, but I guess the one thing I will say is that maybe Eric wouldn't have said that if the person was not a white man.
Maybe.
To maybe try to give, I don't know Eric. He seemed like a nice enough dude in the first episode, the first 2 episodes. So I'm going to say maybe if it hadn't been like kind of a pretentious white man critiquing tacos for their elegance, it's, I'm going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt because I've been to multiple of Rick Bayless's restaurants. There's one in the Chicago airport. I've also been to the LA one, which honestly, I don't even know if it's open anymore. But they're good, but it does just feel weird.
Yeah.
And I do believe he like loves Mexican cuisine and Mexico. He has a house or an apartment in Mexico. I know he spends a lot of time there, but it still ultimately does feel weird.
It's always odd. Top Chef has done this a bunch of times. They'll bring in someone that's like, this isn't Vietnamese food. And even if you were to ask that person, is your thing Vietnamese food? They'd be like, no. Like, okay.
All right.
Okay. So let's roll through these dishes because I got some thoughts that are kind of being echoed in the chat right now. Manuel made chorizo tacos with picante verde, cilantro, and goat cheese.
I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Samantha. We kind of do like a thumbs up, thumbs down critique. And the criteria is anything you want. Does it sound good? Does it sound like a Top Chef dish? You can change your criteria at whim at any point.
Yeah, you can be as critical as you want or as non-critical as you want. It's
absolutely
great.
So then Lisa made grilled skirt steak tacos with caramelized onions, pineapple, and cabbage slaw.
I would have said thumbs up to this, but watching him try to bite into that taco was hard to watch.
I've never had steak, so maybe steak heads can comment. The idea of not being able to put your teeth through it is pretty revolting to me.
Yeah, that seemed like a failure on her part because
Yeah. Have you ever eaten a steak where you couldn't put your teeth through it?
Probably.
Yeah. I too don't eat steak, so I can't.
Okay, well, I'll be the authority on
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Steak. Yeah.
Dr. Steak.
Yeah, definitely some like fatty, overcooked.
Yes.
Steak.
Ugh.
Wow.
Okay. Andrew made duck breast tacos with plantain jam and cotija cheese.
Plantain jam.
Plantain jam sounds great.
Plantain jam could get me pregnant.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Listen, Andrew doesn't sound so bad now, is he? Okay. So Eric made a Chipotle braised.
Rika reveals at the end of the season that she's dating Andrew.
I'm married to him. Yeah. Sorry. I had to hide it until now. Eric made Chipotle braised chicken tacos with avocado, pomegranate salsa, and guac. That sounds nice to me. Jordan doesn't like fruit.
No. Wait, let me defend myself. Let me defend what I'm going to say. But Reika, you say your thing, and then I'm going to defend myself.
Okay, I think this sounds good. I think it looked like shit.
Yes, I thought this looked bad. To me, this didn't feel elevated
It's
or
not elevated
in any way. And I like a pomegranate seed, and I love a pomegranate seed in a savory dish. Yeah. But the idea of doing an avocado pomegranate salsa and guacamole,
that's a lot. That's a lot.
That feels confused. To me, that feels confused.
Yeah, I might have also, did I write that? I probably wrote it down perfectly, as I normally do. Samantha, how did you feel about it?
Agreed. It didn't look upscale or elevated. It looked pretty messy. I feel like it would have tasted good, like using a fork and sort of scooping up bits of it, but not so much
together.
Taco. Yeah.
I think this is a good lesson that we learned from having Chef Shota on, which is like really embrace the challenge. If you already kind of go in thinking like the challenge is stupid and doesn't make sense, there's a lot of challenges on this show that are stupid. I would not say this is one of them. Granted, this was season 4 and they didn't have a lot of stuff to compare it to. Spike made ground pork tacos with a tomatillo sauce. That sounds great. I don't think that's elevated at all. That's just
okay. That's what I was, and I don't want to jump ahead to the rankings.
Do it.
I was confused. I'm guessing it tasted delicious, but nothing about it seemed like it fit the challenge.
This to me is sort of the beginning of when Top Chef is like, what do we care more about? Do we care about how it tastes, or do we care if the person like ignored the challenge or followed?
He said the same thing as Eric. Yes. Like, this is stupid. I'm making street tacos.
Yes, he said it. And then I think, am I crazy? Did Rick Bayless say something or no?
Yeah, Rick Bayless did say something. Rick Bayless was like, this is a street taco.
Okay, he said it. Yeah, great. So like Eric said it, Spike said it, Rick Bayless said it, and he still placed very highly. And I was like, how come I didn't win? I was like, Spike, you gotta shut up.
I have a really hard time because I know Spike is like a pretty successful dude now. He does have, I think, more than one restaurant in DC.
Yeah.
And Samantha's from outside of Virginia, or excuse me, outside of DC and Virginia. And he's like a big time restaurateur. So I would like to think he's like in a different place, but hard for me to believe.
I want to just
come on the show and prove himself.
Yeah, we challenge you.
Yeah.
Just want to shout out Amy in the chat for a new term that I really like, which is they said, I'm walking maximum 2 blocks for that taco. So like a 2-block taco is a taco that's like, it's good, but I'm not walking out of my way to get it.
Yeah, I'll get it like on the way home. Yeah. You know, like I'll walk 2 blocks past my house to get it.
Maybe,
11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
And the place I want isn't open.
Absolutely. Okay, moving on. Ryan made grilled squash tacos with stewed chickpeas. Now, I know, Jordan, I know you. This just doesn't sound like it's possible there's a bunch of accoutrement that they didn't really like list in the lower third. I'm like, this sounds like fucking Indian food, which I'm fine with. I'm just like, this doesn't sound like you did Mexican food. And again, I probably didn't write down enough other stuff he did to it. I don't know. I'm torn.
I personally don't want to, well, I don't like chickpeas, so that's an immediate no for me.
Yeah.
But they upset my stomach, so I don't eat them. But yeah, I agree. It just doesn't sound like I don't know. I honestly can't picture it. Maybe it was elevated looking. Was it?
I don't know. To me, the chickpeas did not look like they had seasoning on them, even though they said they were stewed. And then also grilled squash tacos. I'm like, I will eat a squash taco. I'm vegetarian. I'm like, I'll totally do that. That thing better look so seasoned it could kill me. Is my opinion, because squash I don't know. I think people fuck up using squash when they're omnivores and they're squash for other people. They're like, yeah, it's just a roasted squash with nothing on it. I'm like, cool. I don't want any of this. So that's my thought on Ryan. It also felt like healthy, like unseasoned taco territory to me.
Yeah, I agree. What I will say is I mean, I guess I give it a thumbs down because Ryan, to me, I don't think it looks like at this point in time Ryan is making very tasty food. But conceptually, I give it a thumbs up. I think that none of these felt, I know we're not at the end, but I think none of these felt elevated to me, not even Richard.
Yes, Richard is next. He made jicama tortillas with avocado, papaya, and cilantro. You know I'm gonna fuck that up. I'll eat the shit out of it.
That sounds good.
For sure. On a hot ass day. Oh baby.
Did you see it? Okay.
Yes, Jordan. It looked like a clear tube.
These tacos look like eyelashes. They were the smallest thing I've ever seen.
They were very small.
I love that he also made himself one and was like, "May I eat with you?"
That was sick. That was I don't know what perverted move that was. Sorry, Richard. We're friends in general, but that was, I was like, what? It did feel weirdly sexy, but not in a way that like I thought was sexy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Like sort of the royal sexy, like sexy.
The royal sexy, yes, absolutely.
The tacos were quite thin.
They wet.
They were very, very wet. In like old Hollywood movies where like a lady will smoke a really long cigarette that's on like a stick that comes out of her mouth kind of thing. That's what the tacos look like, but if the cigarette
and you want that?
Listen, because it's not that. This is my refreshing wet tube taco on a hot day. Yes, Jordan, I want it. And you know me, I eat everything with a fork and knife except Indian food anyway. So my hands are dry.
I hate that too. Yeah. I have to say, because everyone knows that I'm a wet freak, but wet like water, not wet like sauce, just to be clear.
You hate wet like water. You love wet like sauce.
Yeah.
I just
want food to be wet like water.
I understand. I just wanted to clarify for new
like
people.
A soggy taco sounds bad.
Yeah. Unless it's the bottom and it's got all the
juices.
The good stuff. That's nice.
That's one of the first things that ever brought Rake and I together. For anyone in the chat who doesn't know, Rake and I really bonded over the fact that our favorite part of the burrito is what, we affectionately call the butt.
Like the nub at the bottom.
Yeah.
I had texted Jordan that and Jordan was like, Reka. And it was like, oh no, Jordan's gonna be like, that's disgusting. And it was like, I love that too.
Really special. A beautiful origin story.
Okay, great. So we'll never know what Stephanie, Antonia, Zoe, Jennifer, Mark, or Dale made, which is crazy to me. That is so many people they didn't show you the tacos for. They literally only showed you the bottom and the top. So on the bottom was Eric, Lisa, and Ryan. On the top was Andrew, Richard, and Spike. The winner was Richard. So for our elimination challenge, we have to make food for a block party sponsored by mealstogether.com. I'm going to click that link. Let's see what that is.
Yes, mealstogether.com still exists.
It's going to give me a virus. I don't know. There were 40 adults and 70 kids, which I was like, oh.
What's the math on that? Anybody good at math? How many adults per kid is that?
Oh, that's too many. Each adult has like
too many. That's the math.
Each adult has like 2 kids.
Yeah, almost. That's crazy.
And they're not. This is where you're like, okay, Top Chef is a little clown show. They're not allowed to go shopping for groceries. They have to quote unquote go to people's houses. You guys all have heard me talk about this stupid fucking Pee Wee Herman challenge in season 9. My issue with this is that the thing that is supposed to be the challenge part of it, which is getting groceries from people's houses, is clearly pre-planned. There's cameras inside these people's houses as the doors open. Mm-hmm. Clearly people are just opening the door and they're like, hi, and they don't care that there's a camera there. Yeah, it's all fucking planted. These people got money or something from Bravo to do it. So that aspect of the challenge is not real. And then, oh my God, the amount of shit in these people's houses. This woman's like, you're lucky I went to the farmer's market today. And she bought 25 plums.
Yeah.
You didn't buy 25 plums not knowing you were going to be on Top Chef and have them all arranged on your beautiful plum plate.
I agree. I think it's too kooky because it's also like, I wanted to see more of a hodgepodging of different ingredients to make a thing, but instead it felt like, oh, we're going to make mac and cheese with Velveeta because this person had 18 bricks of Velveeta. I'm like, that's bigger than a Costco pack. And I'm sorry, most people are not going to Costco and getting a more than one pack of Velveeta.
Uh-huh. You get diarrhea.
And I love Velveeta.
They won't let you out of the store.
Yeah, they call the police on you, yeah.
Trying to get more. Yeah. I think what do you guys think of this challenge before we dive into it?
Yeah, I was actually not wondering, obviously it's bacon, but I was wondering in terms of like reimbursement from production. I was thinking about that when they were in that woman's pantry where she had like 100 of everything. I was like, did they plant these things, or is she getting a big check after this?
Right. I mean, I'm assuming Bravo was like, we will give you $300 for the day for us to like stomp in your kitchen and take a bunch of shit from it.
Yeah. Plus reimbursing all
plus reimbursing or whatever.
Or like what were they sponsored by Whole Foods at this point? No, right?
I don't think so.
I was gonna say plus like a gift card to Whole Foods or something. That probably still was like,
yes. Again, the plum lady, really, my jaw was to the floor. It's like, there's no way one human woman cannot eat that many plums. I have tried and failed. Okay, so we got our little goofball challenge. I will also say, too, this is where you start to see Spike be Spike, in addition to his, like, sort of Borat side of his personality. You see this, like, you can be competitive. I don't like the uber competitive people on the show that are like, take no prisoners. I think that's weird. And I think Top Chef is sort of also like a giant job interview where you're like showing how you work in a kitchen. But like Spike going into that person's pantry and being like, oh my God, she had so much fucking pasta. I'm like, is pasta what you want? Or are you just taking it because there's so much of it and you're trying to like prevent other people from taking it? And you kind of see that like in like foreshadowing, you'll see that kind of vibe come back in him. So just wanted to clock that.
Well, also, and he said, who was it he told Antonia? Like, that kitchen's cleaned out.
Yeah, exactly. Which he was lying because the kitchen, that lady had 700 pounds more of pasta in there and whatever. Yeah. So just goofy and not chefly behavior.
Did no one? Didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Wait, can you still hear me?
Now I can. You were cutting in and out.
Am I here? Okay, am I good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jordan.
It says my connection is unstable.
Oh yeah.
No.
You're mostly fine. It's just every time we give you the space to talk, you don't say anything.
Oh, no.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Great.
Well, let's roll through this challenge then. So we have two teams, the red team, Zoe, Dale, Jennifer, Ryan, Spike, Eric, Andrew, and then the blue team, Richard, Stephanie, Antonia, Nikki, Mark, Lisa, and Manuel. I will also clock for our some of our OG fans in the chat that Spike did flash a bottle of KC Masterpiece to the camera. That truly made me laugh out loud in season 1. It was like, do they have a sponsorship with KC Masterpiece? They keep fucking talking about it.
They were obsessed with it in season 1, but yeah, they never mentioned that they're a sponsor, but they keep
I just love it.
It felt like maybe they were fishing for a sponsorship or something.
That really made me laugh. Okay. So here are the dishes that they made. The blue team made paella with clams, oysters, sausage, and shrimp.
Sure.
It sounds fine. As they pointed out, like, wasn't really paella. That's all right. Yeah. Barbecued pulled pork and chicken sandwich. That sounds great. I'll eat that.
We're fine, whatever.
Ribs with Mexican chocolate barbecue sauce. Absolutely, I'll eat that.
Sure.
A mixed fruit crumble with whipped cream, basil, lime, and a cinnamon sugar wonton. Yeah,
I love basil. If I'm going to do fruit, I like basil with it. So
that sounds great. macaroni and cheese topped with bacon and breadcrumbs. This has got to be a no for me based on appearance, and I'm not a Velveeta fan.
Well, Reka, you're an idiot, so.
I know. Ultimately, yes. What about you, Samantha?
I agree. Like, hearing it said out loud, big yes for me. And then seeing it actually, no.
Yes.
You know what it was? And I told Reka this earlier today. Sorry. We try not to talk about Top Chef outside of the show so we can save all our...
We can keep work at work. Yeah.
We gotta keep work at work, yeah. But Nikki made a roux and then put Velveeta in the roux to make the sauce for the mac and cheese. But you can't really put Velveeta in a roux. Velveeta is made of plastic. It already melts so easily. They made it so you don't have to have a roux. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what really messed up her mac and cheese, because Velveeta sitting around for a while honestly shouldn't have been that bad. That's like what it's designed for.
Yeah. True. Yeah. And it's funny because like I'm a fan of Nikki. I think she's like very cool. The amount of times she said dry mac and cheese like did do something in my throat, because I can imagine exactly where it cuts like a cake slice, you know. And there's like crumbs, and the crumbs aren't breadcrumbs. Like, that's pretty revolting to me. Also unclear on how many dishes they had to make. Seems like between 6 and 35. So that this team also made a cookie and a cookie, which seems to be a chocolate chip cookie rolled in Oreo cookie crumbs, and then they took the cream of the cookie and squirted it into a smiley face.
No. See, I even like,
go on.
If I were going to a block party, like, what I am capable of bringing is a dessert. Like, that's what I think I would bring to the table.
Me too.
And for this to be the cookie that they did, no to that smiley face cream on top.
Listen, I'm with you, Samantha. I'm a huge dessert freak. I would probably also be bringing a dessert to the block party. And I agree, like you said in your quick fire, like bringing cookies is such a good bring.
Yeah, who doesn't like a cookie?
I'm like, yo, the amount, listen, even if they just put out a plate of Oreos, I would probably eat that more. The amount of like weird sort of Frankensteining they did, I think the cream really sort of sent me somewhere. I didn't like it. I don't like that it's a smiley face. It looks like a kid made it with their sticky little hands.
Yes, it looks like a kid made it instead of it was made for a kid.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And it's probably warm.
And they just touched it so much.
And oh my God, nobody was wearing gloves. I don't know if it's like post-COVID stuff, but Andrew picked up a slider with his bare hands, and I was like, ah! Ew. There was a bean dish that got called out as good, but we never saw, to my knowledge. And then a citrus pineapple mint lavender spritzer called a sexy drink or something.
Truly embarrassing. Also, like, what? We're having a family block party and you're gonna have a sexy drink. Like, very strange to me. But the drink did sound delicious.
I would drink the drink. And also, I want to hop back to what Samantha pointed out earlier about the cookie, is that Top Chef famously, anytime someone has to make a dessert, which actually it did not seem like they had to for this, they could have because they're kids there, but anytime they had to make a dessert, they're literally like, I took a pineapple and put it in the microwave. And is that it? I farted on a kiwi. Does that count? And they truly, their heads explode. So I think that's what this cookie also was sort of like.
Symbolizing.
Yeah. Okay. So in the red team, we get a taco salad with chorizo, avocado, shrimp, jalapeno, cabbage, and lime dressing. That sounds
good.
Good. Then we get a mini slider. It's made of beef and ground turkey with bacon and a provolone cheese sauce. I would eat that.
This is a no.
Okay.
Because I am not interested in a beef turkey blend.
Interesting. Yeah. In wine terms, maybe that's like if you blended like a Merlot and a Pinot Grigio or something. It's like two big heavy hitters.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's me being too sensitive, and I don't eat beef anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Jordan, you're PC police Jordan rolling in here saying, don't blend beef and turkey.
Sorry, that's just the way I was raised.
It's like, was there not enough of one to make both sliders with it?
I guess so, but this is what's frustrating about that is if all the dishes had been like that, I would have been like, I get it. But the fact that none of the other dishes seemed like that, and then it seems like they're just like, hey, put meats together. Like, to me, it felt more like a careless oversight rather than a strategic move for the challenge.
So what Jordan's sort of imagining, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, is like a Reese's peanut butter cup situation, but it's like, you got turkey of my beef, you got beef of my turkey. Like, oh my God, well, we have to work with this now. Like, we should have been paying attention. We bumped into each other.
Wow. Yeah. But hey, maybe like a Reese's peanut butter cup, it's absolutely delicious. And it stands the test of time.
Nice, wet turkey on the outside, delicious, powdery beef on the inside.
Exactly.
Like peanut butter cup.
100%.
Beautiful. Okay. Then we get a grilled pork tenderloin and pineapple kebabs with a smoked red curry barbecue sauce.
That sounds good.
Sounds good. Then we get s'mores on a stick, which is bruleed marshmallow rolled in graham crackers and chocolate.
Yum. Rika, what the hell?
This to me is farting on a kiwi. I'm like, you took a marshmallow and you put like a freaking blowtorch up to it and you rolled it around in the mud and you're like, dessert.
I think this dish is more creative than like 90% of the dishes in this challenge.
Sure. I think when Padma ate it, it fell on the floor on Ted Allen's shoe.
It did. That did happen.
Okay.
Samantha, what do you think of this? Are you yay or nay on this dessert?
Well, I would eat it, but I feel like they could have done something better with those marshmallows.
Yes.
Wrong.
Sticking it on a stick.
Yes. And okay, this is controversial because I don't eat gelatin and stuff, so marshmallows aren't my thing anyway. A marshmallow is not even like my favorite part of the s'more. I know Jordan's gonna fucking kill me, but I really like the graham cracker.
No, I love a burnt marshmallow.
I love a burnt marshmallow, but
burnt marshmallow, melty chocolate. The graham cracker is there like as support, but we could do it without graham cracker.
Okay, the graham cracker is like fucking Scottie Pippen coming in for the support, not getting any of the recognition it deserves. So
how dare you? How dare you call graham cracker Scottie Pippen? That's very generous of you to the graham cracker.
Oh my God. We'll take this outside. Okay.
Yeah, Rika and I'll actually do a one-on-one game to
at the end of each talk show.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. Okay. Then we get a chicken Waldorf salad. Whatever. I don't care about this too much.
Didn't appeal to me.
Yeah. And then we get a corn dog with pomegranate ketchup and spicy mustard.
That sounds good.
Sounds so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say that's 2 pomegranates for Eric today. And then absolutely puzzling, this pasta salad becomes this like large point of contention in the judges table. They don't even fucking show it. What the fuck was in this pasta salad?
Yeah, like how bad could it have been?
Yes, I mean, here's my eternal question. This is the first of many times you will see a challenge like this on Top Chef, where someone goes, I guess I have to make pasta salad. I'm like, is there a producer with like a gun to someone's head? Because you do not have to make one, and nor has anyone made a good pasta salad on the show. In fact, many people have been sent home for a pasta salad because it is not, it is food. I was going to say it's not food. It's not like food for this show. Almost no environment in which they have made it has it actually made sense to make it.
I mean, I feel like pasta salad is at this point in time pretty rarely utilized even in real life. So the fact that they keep pushing it on Top Chef feels very bizarre. Pasta salad is a dish for those who can't cook.
Is Top Chef in the pocket of big pasta salad? Like, what the fuck is happening? It's truly mind-boggling. For anyone who's going to stay with us for all 50,000 other seasons we're going to cover, you're going to see pasta salad keep popping up, and you're like, why do you actively make something that nobody likes to eat?
That's a good point. Did they have like a brainstorm we missed where someone was like, I must see a pasta salad on the table?
They definitely do brainstorm, and they will, at these type of things, they will be like there was a Southern challenge in the South Carolina season where almost the opposite happens, where they're brainstorming and then they realize, oh, no one made biscuits. And it was for a woman who owns a biscuit company. And they're like, we should have done biscuits. Fuck. And that seems like kind of an obvious one, but like also, I wouldn't necessarily think that the biscuit lady wants to eat your biscuits.
Sure.
It's almost the reverse, where it's like, it's a block party, so there's got to be pasta salad. Was sort of part of the brainstorm process, but I'm like, no, there doesn't.
It's your block party. You get to do what's there.
There's paella at this block party. Do whatever you want.
Absolutely. I do want to know though, a Top Chef producer has a gun to your head. What pasta salad are each one of you making? I can go first if people don't know.
Okay, go.
Because I obviously thought of something because I thought of the question. Yeah. I would do an orzo pasta salad with little bocconcini, and I would make a pesto, but I would put the pesto in it, and then I would also put green peas in it, and
that's nice.
Some like heirloom cherry tomatoes sliced in half.
Okay, I hope this counts. I would do an Israeli pearl couscous.
Okay, that counts.
With like turmeric, like roasted carrots, just any vegetables I got from these people's houses, basically. Lemon, salt, cumin, some sort of spice or whatever, and make a nice like bright yellow, like cold couscous.
This kind of sounds like the Mendocino Farms.
That's exactly what I'm basing it off of. And
maybe I knew it. She cannot pull a fast one on me.
Sorry. And maybe I put like fresh mint or something, or cilantro.
Yum. Okay, we love
it. I would want to, I wouldn't be able to make it, but I would do, if I could, like an Asian noodle salad with like ginger and sesame and green onions and carrot and.
What a great, I didn't even think like a soba noodle salad.
I didn't either.
I would fucking go there immediately.
It'd be delicious. A hot day.
That can sit easier too.
Yes. Yeah. And it's not just like random canned fucking beans that don't go. I have no problem. I actually prefer canned beans because they are easier. But it's not like stuff that doesn't go together. Like pasta salad is like on the show is like a last ditch effort. Like, oh, I have 4 items. None of them make sense together. And I have pasta.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. At the judges table, Andrew says something unhinged. He says, my house, you'll have to drag me out with security guards. And it was like, hey, nobody was even talking
to you.
So you can chill out. The blue team wins.
Like barely.
Barely, they make sure to note. Stephanie wins for the fruit and cinnamon sugar wonton. And then on the bottom is red team, and Eric is eliminated for soggy, wet corn dogs.
Yeah, it's like time and time again, we see that it's like, just don't fry. I think people get so caught up in their own mind of like, well, we have to do a fried thing, or like kids love a fried thing, like peasants basically is how they were referring to these people, like a fried thing. So we have to do it. And I'm like, why would you fry something and then transport it?
But that was the thing with all of them. And this is like, we've talked about this before, where like catering experience really probably comes into play, and it's helpful in challenges like this. Because like, oh yeah, you would just know if you are someone who works in a restaurant, you're serving your dish immediately. So maybe you're not thinking, if I make a corn dog, this has to sit in a tray where like it's going to get condensation all over it and get wet. And then it's going to sit outside and also get wet and sweaty. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like there were a lot of dishes like that. God, sorry, I'm reading hashtag plum chat. People talking about how many plums they could eat per minute. It's incredible, guys. You guys are big plum eaters. Get that 5.
My answer is none.
Okay, Jordan,
plums are a bad fruit. They're not even one of the good fruits. Oh, my girlfriend's in the room. She's giving me the finger. I guess Kendall's a real plum fan.
Okay. Yeah, Jordan, you're just wrong on this one. Plums are pretty good. Love like a plum sauce too. And I know that's maybe
different.
Don't bring sauce into this.
Don't bring my greatest love sauce into this.
Well, not to derail,
Derail.
It popped into my head, and I want to apologize and correct my answer to one of the quickfire challenges that Jordan, you are my favorite food TikTok account. It literally hit me while we were talking, and I was like, I actually got that question like so wrong. I was obviously panicking during it because I couldn't think of anyone, but like genuinely, I love your TikTok.
That is so sweet. I was going to talk to you about it when we went off the air. About
Jordan was going to challenge you to a one-on-one game of basketball.
Yeah. No, thank you. That is so sweet. I appreciate it. I hope to one day move to like actually making food content, but right now I just don't have the mental capacity. So on TikTok, I just, people tell me restaurants, either local or chains, and then I tell them what I would order at that restaurant, and people either love to agree with me or tell me how I'm a big fucking idiot for not ordering the thing that they think I should order. And it's fun.
It's so fun to watch. So I just wanted to amend my answer.
I like this. Beautiful. So Samantha, we usually ask people for the challenge what they would have made. So for instance, the winning dish was a dessert, and you said you would totally bring a dessert. What would you have brought?
I guess it would have depended on what I found in pantries.
I
love a chocolate chip cookie with like pretzel in it.
Yes,
I could have found that.
Yum.
So I'm thinking
I feel like they would definitely have all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody has like 74 apricots and 47 peaches and 39 plums, there's pretzels somewhere.
Right. There must be. And even if they're stale, that's fine because they're just little crumbs. Yeah. So probably something like that. If there was like a lot of peanut butter or almond butter in a pantry, I could do like little balls that are then covered in chocolate. And if there's time, well, I guess maybe the transport isn't good. Then if they need to be frozen and then sort of thaw out.
Oh, sure.
But those are good. There could be a lot of those. That's
yeah. Like a Buckeye situation.
Ooh, and we're in the Midwest for this season, so
okay. Those are great answers.
I was surprised the first time I had a Buckeye. This is kind of unrelated, and I just want to tell you guys a story. The first time I had a Buckeye, I was at an airport in Columbus, and I thought it was like a cookie dipped in chocolate, but it's just a little peanut butter ball. It's much softer than I anticipated.
They're very, I've had one once that I think was too rich. It was like, the proportions here are crazy. I know. And then the second time I was offered one was from a real Ohio family in Ohio, a bona fide Ohio family. And I was on the last day of my Whole30, so I said no.
Were you on tour?
Yeah.
Wow. Reka and I both tried to do a vegetarian version of the Whole30. Like,
I'll say that
years ago. You what?
I absolutely crushed it. I did not break once.
Oh,
Reka did not break once. I was like, I did it mostly vegetarian, but I was like, you know what? I sometimes will eat chicken, so I'll just incorporate more chicken into my diet. So what I ended up doing is just eating like, I don't know, 300% more chicken than I ever have in my life, and made myself so sick. I did it for like maybe 12 days and then was like, I have to eat a bowl of rice or I will go to the hospital.
This is stupid. I threw up on day 2 because I guess I'm so used to eating sugar that my body like detoxed, and I think that is crazy fully. Also, it's a goofy plan and
very stupid. Don't do it. We all almost everyone on our like touring company was doing it, so I think we wanted to be. What were you touring with? For
the Upright Citizen Brigade Theater, in New York.
Yeah, Rick and I were both in their touring company for a while, and that's also how we became closer friends. In addition to the burrito nub
moment. Incredible. Well, Samantha, I'm getting word. I'm allowed to say it? Are you sure? Okay. The Bravo producers are in my ear and they're telling me I can tell you that you are Top Chef.
What?
It's a pretty huge deal, and a lot of people don't know that there are 2 ways you can become Top Chef. You can either compete on the Bravo cooking competition, Top Chef, and win, or you can be a guest on the YouTube live stream visual podcast, Talk Chef.
Either way, an Indian woman will tell you you're a Top Chef, and that's kind of cool.
so honored and delighted.
Really incredible.
We're so excited to have you, Samantha. Where can people find you online?
People can find me on TikTok and on Instagram. The handle for both is at Samantha Dockser. If people want to know stuff they can watch me in, they can go to my IMDb and
awesome
there. Yeah.
Please go follow Samantha. She posts so much fun. I mean, on Instagram, it's like all kinds of stuff. It's like lifestyle, professional, sometimes food, all kinds of different stuff. And then on TikTok, so fun, funny, charming. You got to follow.
You simply must follow. It was such a pleasure having you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we're going to keep this Chicago train rolling into next week. So we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Perfect.